correspondence is Mr. Brew's letter regarding the state trooper and whether or not we should add, he suggested that we add constables. I've not answered Mr. Brew's letter because the commissioner, I knew was coming out with a statement regarding Troop B, which she did, and Troop B is now staffed 24/7. Dispatch has not been assessed yet, but it is coming. But just so you know that I did look into towns that had,
Constables?
no, resident, you can't have constables unless you have a resident trooper.
We do.
I know it, and you would have to have at least 2 constables. So you're looking at a budget of probably $250,000, if not more, in order to have 2 constables, which would include salary, overtime, benefits, vehicles, vehicle maintenance, uniforms, etc. And unfortunately, I don't think that that is anything that this town is going to pass in a budget, considering there's times when it's doubtful that the state troopers line item will get passed.
Well, my memory too, at the meeting with our resident trooper, it was asked at that meeting, and he didn't feel that it was needed.
No, but Mr. Burrs did indicate he thought it was needed.
I understand.
And I believe that as all crime in town tends to be cyclical. We run amok for a while, and then it dies down for a longer period of time, and then we run amok again.
I have an idea about this. I'd like to bring up under the 2/3 vote.
What's that?
A neighborhood watch program. If you look at the transcript, unfortunately I couldn't go to that meeting. But what Trooper Naylor said was that in his experience, some of the people who perpetrate these crimes have said that there are 2 things that generally deter them: nosy neighbors and loud dogs.
Mm-hmm.
And I thought maybe something that wouldn't necessarily cost the town money but might have a positive impact would be something like establishing some sort of a neighborhood watch program. Now the cost for that would probably become in posting signs, and that might have some effect with a relatively small outlay, and it also would be a way for people who are significantly concerned about this issue to make an investment in the town and be able to do something. So I thought it was an idea we could think about.
Yeah, it certainly is. I've seen the neighborhood watch signs. I'm not, they had one, oh God, a long time ago. But it wasn't neighborhood watch, it was something else.
Well, if
It
it
was a
makes the
criminal
residents
thing.
feel better, but there is, I was at the meeting, and I heard, I know it was proposed at the meeting,
too.
and
But a neighborhood watch is, is getting the neighbors involved.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
well, the other thing is to get them to call the state police when there's a problem too. A lot of people
Right.
feel that they don't want to bother the state police, but sometimes they need to make that call if they see something out of the ordinary.
Mhm.
And maybe if there were people in selected neighborhoods that they knew they could contact if they saw something, and maybe that would be the type of neighborhood watch.
I'm not sure that the state police would agree that that would be a smart thing to do. For, there's something amiss, call Josh,
Sure.
for instance. And when it actually should be call the police.
Right.
So.
But
I
it would
think
give
that's-
people a way, especially the people who are significantly concerned. I mean, you want to honor their concerns and hopefully have a positive impact. And I just think that would be, if nothing else, it's a visible reminder that people in Norfolk look and we care. And it's not just a sleepy little community you can sneak into in the middle of the night or in the middle of the day in some cases, and kind of steal things with impunity. And because we are that way, I mean, we do look out for each other. So
And actually, that's what happened too, they snuck in during the day and during the night, and it does, it does concern a lot of our residents, so,
Mhm.
I mean, if we look into something like that, I
And
think
it's always,
important.
and it's always been a concern. I know people
Sure.
who have, for years, and we're going back because whose houses got ransacked because they spent the winter away
Yeah,
and nobody knew.
absolutely.
So,
Well,
I mean, that's
I
the
think we
thing.
should look into it
sure, I can,
Yeah.
further, I think
Mhm.
there is a concern, and,
I must say, I don't know a lot about the different ways different communities run them, but I thought, it would seem to hit on a lot of the key points without spending a tremendous amount of money, like the constable program obviously would involve.
I can look into it and see what's,
yeah, we'll see what the
What's
neighboring
going
towns are doing,
Yeah,
if they have.
I don't
Must be something
recall,
else.
I don't recall anybody in this area. I've seen them more in towards West Hartford, in subdivision areas, if you will. Not, I've seen the sign, because the sign is
We have it up at
a
the lake.
bandit. You have it at the lake?
Oh, nice.
Do you belong?
No.
You have to belong. Is that, do you?
No, I
You
don't.
don't
I've seen
know
the
it, but
sign.
you've just seen the
I've seen
sign,
the sign.
which I think is a bandit with
Yeah.
neighborhood watch on
So,
it, yeah.
Let's see what we can find out.
Yeah,
I think it's
let's see what
important.
happens. We will do that. And see if we can get Mr. Burrs interested.